A person can believe smoking is harmful and still light a cigarette. A shopper can say they are saving money and still buy something they do not need. Cognitive dissonance begins in that uncomfortable gap between what someone believes and what they do. Cognitive dissonance is mental discomfort caused by two conflicting ideas, values, or actions. The mind does not like feeling inconsistent, so it tries to reduce the tension. Sometimes it changes behavior. Sometimes it changes the story around the behavior. Imagine someone who thinks of themselves as honest but lies to avoid embarrassment. The lie may be small, but the identity conflict is not. To feel better, they may say the truth would have hurt someone, or that everyone lies in situations like this. That explanation may contain some truth. Dissonance often hides inside partly true stories. The person is not always inventing nonsense. They are selecting the part of the truth that makes the conflict easier to live with. The same pattern appears after purchases. If someone spends too much on an expensive gadget, they may focus on the features and ignore the debt. The mind wants the purchase to feel smart because admitting regret would create discomfort. The purchase example is powerful because it shows the emotional sequence clearly. First comes the choice, then the discomfort, then the explanation that makes the choice feel acceptable. If the person notices that sequence, the next purchase can be made with more honesty. Dissonance can also make people defend bad decisions more strongly after they commit. Before a choice, they may be uncertain. After the choice, they may suddenly sound confident because the mind wants the chosen path to feel correct. This is why people sometimes become more certain after a questionable decision. The certainty may not come from new evidence. It may come from the need to quiet the uncomfortable feeling that another choice might have been wiser. One reason this matters is that dissonance can block learning. If every mistake is explained away, feedback cannot enter. The person may protect their self-image while repeating the same pattern in money, health, work, or relationships. Groups can create dissonance too. A person may belong to a group that claims to value fairness, yet watches the group treat outsiders badly. Leaving the group creates pain. Staying creates another kind of pain. The mind may reduce the tension by minimizing the unfairness. This is why group belonging can make dissonance harder to admit. The person is not only questioning an idea, they may be risking approval, friendship, status, or family peace. The stronger the identity, the stronger the defense can become. If a belief is only casual, changing it may be easy. If the belief is tied to family, status, religion, politics, or personal pride, admitting conflict can feel like losing part of the self. Cognitive dissonance does not mean people are stupid. It means consistency is emotionally valuable. The mind would rather feel coherent than constantly admit contradiction. That is human, but it can become costly when comfort matters more than truth. A common sign is irritation when someone points out the contradiction. The irritation may not be about the other person's tone. It may be the pain of seeing two parts of yourself clash in public. Another sign is over-explaining. When the choice is genuinely clear, the explanation is often simple. When the choice conflicts with a value, the person may produce a long, polished argument to make the discomfort disappear. The healthier response is not self-attack. Saying, "I am a hypocrite," may only create more shame. A better response is specific. My action did not match my value. What would make them match better next time? The wording of the repair question matters. It does not ask, "How do I prove I was right?" It asks, "What would bring my behavior closer to the value I claim to care about?" Changing behavior is one way to reduce dissonance. The smoker quits. The overspender returns the item. The dishonest person tells the truth. This path is uncomfortable at first but often creates the cleanest long-term relief. Changing the belief can also be valid when the old belief was too rigid. A person may realize they judged others too harshly because they now understand the pressure better. Dissonance can lead to growth if it makes the belief more honest. Belief change is healthiest when it comes from better understanding, not from convenience. If the new belief only appears after a selfish action, it deserves extra scrutiny. The risky path is changing only the excuse. That gives short-term comfort but no real repair. The person feels better without becoming more aligned. Over time, the explanations get stronger while the underlying contradiction stays the same. A useful question is, what value am I protecting right now? If the value is honesty, health, loyalty, freedom, success, or kindness, name it. Then ask whether the current behavior actually serves that value or only protects your image of having it. Another useful question is, what would I do if I did not need to look right? That question lowers the pressure to defend. It creates room to correct the choice without turning the correction into humiliation. That question can be uncomfortable because it removes the performance of being right. But it also gives the person freedom. They no longer have to defend every old choice in order to make a better new one. Cognitive dissonance is uncomfortable, but it is also useful. It points to the places where values and actions are out of alignment. If you listen carefully, the discomfort can become a signal for repair instead of a trigger for denial. The goal is not perfect consistency. Nobody lives with every belief and action perfectly aligned. The goal is to notice the gap early, tell the truth about it, and choose the next action with less self-deception. A workplace example makes the idea sharper. Someone may believe they value family time, but keep accepting unnecessary late meetings to look committed. Instead of admitting fear of disapproval, they may say the company truly needs them every night. The explanation protects the identity of being dedicated while hiding the cost. The workplace example also shows why dissonance can look like ambition. A person may call it commitment while quietly feeling resentment, exhaustion, or distance from the values they say matter. Dissonance becomes harder when other people benefit from the excuse. A boss may praise the overworker, a friend may encourage the overspending, or a group may reward loyalty over honesty. Social approval can make the internal conflict feel less like a warning and more like proof that the choice is fine. The cleanest repair is usually small and observable. If the value is health, one honest appointment matters. If the value is honesty, one corrected statement matters. If the value is family, one protected evening matters. Dissonance reduces when the next action gives the value evidence. The danger is building a life around explanations instead of alignment. A person can become very skilled at defending choices that quietly exhaust them. Cognitive dissonance is useful when it interrupts that performance and asks for a more honest next step.